respect for our boy. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure it was taken directly from the gods. Question mark. But anyway, it's enough about that, because we are on Romanticide. And in the bottom right corner of Romanticide, we have the red Zerg player, representing red for Peru, representing Cranky Ducklings. It is El Condor, Ryu.
The Street Fighter himself, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have, I would have said the best Zerg player in Mexico, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless, a very strong player, one of the best that Latin America has to offer, representing Team GP, it is Cham.
Yeah, like, after the last series, I'm a bit worried about Cham. It was not the strongest games. It wasn't bad by any means, but like...
It wasn't bad, it's just Jim was better.
Yeah.
What I will say is that unfortunately Ryu was busy with the series. He didn't watch what happened in Jim Rising versus Cham. He has no idea how that played out, so he doesn't have that to work with. And what I will say is that Ryu is a very different player, a very different kind of Zerg player. This is what's so great about Latin American Zergs. You've got players like Jim Rising, you've got players like El Huevito, like Eggs, you have Ryu, you have the Zerg Lord, and they all have universe even. They all have their own unique styles. You know, some are more aggressive than others, some are more macro oriented than others. And that's how diverse Latin American StarCraft can be.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder what we will see from Ryu here. Like, will he go into the lurkers? Will he go into something else? We're gonna find out soon.
That we will. I mean, so far, everything is looking pretty standard here. No early pools or anything crazy like that. And I mean, we wouldn't expect it, right? You know, we're here. We're on Romanticide, one of the more standard macro maps in the map pool. But again, even though Jim was the kind of player to wall off on 2 bases and delay his third, I feel like we're going to see something completely different from Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu strikes me more of an not necessarily aggressive player, but more dynamic player, I guess. Somehow, like the roach pushes don't sound the same. But I mean, we'll see. Like Jim Rising is surprised us with roach pushes as well. Like mutas are his thing, but no. So we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and Ryu, his links get across the map. He does got the early third base. Of course, Ryu's going for his own. But again, what's important is that we have a bailing nest here for Ryu. He wants to link bait it up. He wants to deny or try to deny this third base of Cham. Meanwhile, at the same time, Cham, he is going for his own bailing nest here. Again, a very different style compared to the series against Jim.
Yeah, actually, Cham, I think before even Cham scouted, like he put his own down first. So like even Cham like knows that Ryu is a very different player, and he actually wants to go into Linkbane with him.
Exactly, and we'll see how good the control is here with these links, with these bailings. We see an Evo Chamber being thrown down for Cham as well. We could work on some of those upgrades, like Carapace, could even work on melee. It'd be surprising if he did, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Ryu does get a link into the main base. He does dive in, confirms, hey, there's no fast Spire, there's no fast Lair for a Spire or fast gases or anything crazy like that.
Yeah, he gets a pretty good scout. Oh, there is indeed a +1 melee, as you were saying. And there is a fast lair as well.
Yeah, as soon as that link died, the lair was thrown down, and this is so important. Ryu needs to eventually scout this. Meanwhile, Ryu, he's getting his own up and running, and he is not going for that commitment into Lingbane. He's going to transition eventually into roaches.
You say that, but Cham just put a roach warren. So are we going into roach wars after all?
We could. I'm going to hazard a guess that this roach warren is just for show. Like if the natural gets scouted, again based off the upgrades, I feel like Cham wants to go into mutas, and there we go. All the gases are being taken.
Yeah, it does. Like when you see that +1 melee, it does look like mutas. But yeah, it indeed looks like it's just for show, and like you can't tell what the upgrade is, so you can assume that it's also range, right?
Exactly. Like for all he knows, that's exactly what it is. Oh, that was a really cheeky block there. Oh. And there it is. As we suspected, Cham is going for that Spire. But again, Ryu is still in the dark. He's working on Pneumatized Carapace. He's working on Overlord Speed. When he has that, he can dive in for a scout, but by that time, it may be a little bit too late.
Yeah, but by that time, the Mutas may be already like in the making. But before that, there's this Link Bane attack coming in.
Oh yeah, +1 melee is about to finish up. It still needs a little bit more time. Meanwhile, the Links, they do get here, but the Banings are about to finish up. Up.
Okay, that wasn't as explosive as expected.
Yeah, I mean, there was some pretty decent connections. Meanwhile, the Banelings of Cham are rolling into the natural base. Ooh, they only get 5 drones. Again, not the juiciest connection, and it looks like with the reinforcing roaches, oh, but we have more Links coming in.
Yeah, the Links come to finish the job on the drones. They tried to snipe the Queen as well, but it was barely saved, I think. And yeah, overall 7 drones died, which is pretty good, but I'm not sure if that's what Cham expected, but he doesn't stop.
Yeah, Cham, he's just flooding across the map. He is going to get us around, and if he does, then we go the Roach Warren. Sorry, the Roach will go down. The Queen will go down as well. These are +1 melee Lings, and Cham doesn't even need the Bailing Nest. He's still dealing devastating damage. He doesn't even need the Spire, I should say.
I mean, he doesn't really need either. He's just running in pure Links into Ryu's base.
Yeah, exactly. He gets another surround. 2 more roaches go down. Drones are going down. Ryu will eventually stabilize with his roaches, but this is a 1-2 punch. First comes the Lings, next come the Mutas.
Also, guess what Ryu is getting?
And this is the correct response against Mutas. Mutas, they give you map control. So one way to get past the Mutas are with borrowed roaches. But oh god, the spores are not ready.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a bit late for the borrowed roaches now that Mutas are already in your base. But maybe you can just hold it off for long enough.
We'll see. I mean, the Mutas are kind of busy dealing with these overlords. You know, they're taking their time. Meanwhile, the roaches are across the map here. Is there enough to defend? There are some Lings, but not enough to get us around on these roaches. So now it's on Ryu to try and deal equalizing damage across the map in that mineral line.
The Mutas are coming back, but it takes a while for them to kill the roaches, so Ryu just has to get as much damage as he can before they catch up to him.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to get on top of those drones. 3 drones have gone down, so has the Injecting Queen. Oh, Burrow is shown, but we already have detection on the way.
It's great watching Ryu, because he's like this tricky player that, like, you know, here he splits roaches and like just hides them. Like sometimes he hides Banelings, sometimes he drops Banelings. Like he's always that sneaky player. It's great to watch.
Exactly. And I mean, these are the right moves. But these roaches here in the main, they get cleaned up. Ooh, at the same time, massive amount of Mutas do go across the map. It looks like this 4th base will go down. To be fair, Cham's on 3 bases. So like losing this 4th for Ryu isn't the most devastating thing.
Yeah. We are at 20 Mutas right now, so... And it looks like we just keep getting more, so Cham is just looking to make this flock even bigger.
That he is. Meanwhile, the roaches have shown up here at the 3rd base. There we go. More drones are going to go down. Again, so important for Ryu to deal this economic damage, but Ryu, he's still in a worse position. Like, he's so heavily supply blocked. He just keeps losing these overlords.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't help. And the roaches are quite heavy in supply, so that's quite a blow. And
yeah, but at the same time,
there's some damage here and there.
Yeah, like again, like this is great from Ryu. This is what he needs to get done. But at the same time, the Mutas are also harassing across the map. They just keep sniping these gas geysers, and because of this, like Ryu's economy is still just in shambles. He's still trying to recover.
Yeah, I feel like at this number of Mutas, you can actually try sniping the spores. So this is very dangerous for Ryu. Like he has a bunch of spores in each base, but this is getting risky.
Definitely. Meanwhile, I love how relentless he is, by the way. He just keeps setting roaches across the map. He just has to keep keeping the economy of Cham as low as possible. I'm a little bit surprised that Cham hasn't thrown down spores in his mineral lines. That would just make things a little bit easier, to be honest. But yeah, still just more roaches on the way. And as all this has been happening, Ryu has been taking up. He has his hive, he has his hydrogen. Oh, for not much longer, because the hydrogen's gonna go down.
You were saying.
He
didn't make it on the other side of the base, but...
He is looking to remake it. He's also already getting Vipers out for those parasitic bombs.
Oh yeah, if he can get a good parasitic bombs, that would be great.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do have another roach run by here. It is going to be cleaned up though by these +1 lings. Oh god, this is not a good trade for Ryu whatsoever. And the dangerous thing about this all is that Cham, now he has the 4th base up and running, and with this 4th base his economy is going to boom and he's just going to get out of control.
There's a roach in this base.
There it is. I thought it was the team GPL, I'm not gonna lie.
Nope. Nope, it's a roach. There's a roach in every base at this point, I think. Oh, nice snipe on the drone.
Yeah, you know, it is something, right? 4 more drones go down, but again, Cham, he's up 20 workers. The only way back here for Ryu, and Ryu, I think he knows it, he needs to turtle. Like, that's why he's going up to lurkers, right? You just get your Hydra, Viper, Lurker, you turtle, you stay on these 3 bases and try and get a 4th, but the 4th is just not happening. It's gone, mate.
Yeah, like, it feels like it was a kill.
Yeah.
It feels like over time, like Cham just gets more and more ahead, and Ryu just can't catch up to him. That said, the mutas bunch up for the parasitic bomb for a moment, but it was not enough to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the problem with parasitic bomb is that you rely on your opponent to not have good enough micro to split. But Cham, he's there, so parasitic bombs are a little bit unreliable. Meanwhile, as you said, mate, that was a kill, not a cancel. That was huge, and now the Vipers are getting picked off. One of them goes down.
It's not looking good for Ryu as he's getting overwhelmed by Cham as he attacks from every direction.
Oh god, exactly. And now Cham, he's getting close to maxing out. The Lurker then does finish, which is great, but oh my god, that's the 2nd kill!
Yeah, Ryu is being pulled apart, and he tries to make the base again, but there's no defense there, so the mutas are just gonna come and attack it again.
Exactly. Like, these mutas have done so much, and the problem is that we've reached a point where even if all these mutas die, it's not enough, because Cham, he has his own lurkers, he has his own adaptive talons on the way, like, he has his own upgrades, and again, just his army is just superior to that of whatever Ryu has, which isn't much.
Like basically the mutas at this point are just distraction. Like, Cham doesn't need them. He has a proper army at home that's just waiting to come to the other side of the map, which it is doing now.
Yeah, it was waiting. It's no longer waiting. It's here. Here we go. Hydra. Yep, Hydra, Lurker, Viper, a couple of lings, couple of roaches, yeah, a little bit of everything. Does catch some roaches here of Ryu, and now in it comes Cham, and Ryu does have a bit of a force here, but not the best force.
Yeah, I mean, the advantage was that he saw the army coming, so he was able to like snipe some units before it actually attacked. But this is not great. The Lurkers are already sieged up, and they're attacking the drones as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was a really good blinding cloud there by Ryu, but it was not enough. GG gets called, and Cham takes game number 1. GG. What I will say is that Ryu did hold his own there for quite some time, but it just took him far too long to scout the mutas and to get a response for the mutas. Like, the mutas just did far too much for Cham.
Mutas. The mutas. Yeah. No, it was 20 mutas. There was just sniping buildings, sniping units. Like, yeah, those mutas did a lot of damage to Ryu. And it was like on the beginning, the difference, like, you could see like the difference in drone speed. Like, yeah, this is just few drones difference, but like over time, it just kept growing bigger and bigger. Like, he just couldn't keep up.
Ooh, exactly, and yeah, that was just kind of the tale of that game, you know. Just Cham was able to get away with that Spire, and then with that, he just stayed ahead. I mean, it was a great start for Ryu, you know, going for that roach harassment, but over time, that kind of ran out. Like, the value of that kind of ran out, and Cham was he was able to stabilize, and Ryu was not.
Yeah. Sad for Ryu, but this is not the end. This is game 2, and anything can happen.
And you know what it is? You know what it really is, Kuro? It's because you don't have Ninja Cola.
I don't have any Inca Cola, that is true. I'm sorry, I let down my not fellow citizens of Peru. What? But anyway, let's leave that transition behind. As we are now on 2000 atmospheres. And in the bottom left corner of 2000 atmospheres, we once again have the red Zerg player representing Peru and Cranky Ducklings. Raise your Inca Colas for Ryu.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Zerg player. He is blue, representing Team GP. Currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. He only needs uno más, one more, to move on to the next round. It is Cham.
I would say one thing that is missing from all these ZVZs is like early aggression. Like all these ZVZs are like very macro focused.
Yeah, for the most part, you know, no one's going for any early pools, no 13-12, no 12-11, nothing crazy like that. For the most part, everyone has just gone for, you know, hatch gas pool.
Yeah, I mean, the hatch gas pool, but like even when they get links, they don't get like overly aggressive. Like Cham was attacking last game, but it wasn't like game-ending attack. Like none of them is going like, you know, straight league bane, I'm gonna destroy your base. Like, it's more of a like trying to find some damage.
You say that, but mate, those +1 links dealt a lot of damage. Like they got a lot of worker kills, they got a lot of roaches, they got a lot of queens as well. Like that really set Cham up for the follow-up Muta attack.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Oh boy, so we'll see if we see more of the same here in game number 2. We are on 2000 atmospheres, a bit of a smaller map, not the smallest by any means, but smaller compared to Romanticide, for example. So, oh boy, we'll see if maybe Ryu has a bit of an easier time here. You know, again, that counter aggression and those borrowed roaches do hit a lot faster on a map like this as opposed to those mutas. So, yeah, we'll see how he approaches this.
Do you think he intends to go roaches again?
It's hard to say, to be honest. I would imagine so. I have seen Ryu go mutas in the past, but I don't think that's necessarily what he's best at.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out. Once again, Baneling Nest from Cham. So he's quick to do that. And almost at the same time, Ryu gets his. They also got the third bases around the same time, so pretty mirrored for now.
Yes, this is very standard play here. Getting your third base, getting your Baneling Nest, and it's up to the player if anyone wants to be aggressive or if they just want to be defensive, right? Regardless, Banelings are required for both. Meanwhile, Cham is making an extra set of lings, so he is looking to go, oh my god, even more lings behind this. So he's actually going to be going across the map, looking to try and deny the third base of Ryu. Ryu, as soon as this Baneling Nest finishes, mate, you got to morph in those Banelings.
See, I was talking about lack of aggression. Like, Cham just like pressed that Z key and he did not stop. It's still coming. There's still more Zerglings. He's sneaking a few drones, but there's still more Zerglings coming.
Oh yeah, lings are flooding across the map, and Ryu is well aware of this. He does see this with all of his overlords. The lings are here on top of the third. Meanwhile, Banelings are morphing in. Oh, but they're not ready. Oh god.
Ooh, this was a nice flip.
Yeah, that it was. But again, the third base finishes, and the lings are on top of it. Like, can Ryu save this? It looks like no, he cannot.
Nope. Yeah, that third base is going down, and that's pretty bad because Cham has his third base up and running. Did you see that?
Oh god. Yeah, exactly, as the Broodlings did get that Baneling. Meanwhile, there was another decent connection from Ryu, and Ryu as a response, now that he lost his third, is going for a very fast lair.
I guess just for roaches?
There's a lot of potential here with this lair, whether he wants to go into mutas himself or wants to do something else cheekily. He still wants to get this third up and running, but Cham is still here, and he does get a snipe on the drone.
Ooh, another nice explosion there. Cham backs off for now, but yeah, this would be hard for you to keep.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. The third is finally being thrown down, but Cham is still here, by the way. Oh god, no, there's nothing here to protect it. No!
Yeah, the queens were there for the drones. They were like, yep, the threat is done, and they just left.
Oh my god, a little bit of mismicro there as well. The Baneling connects to the Baneling of Cham, and now Cham is one with the Baneling. He does get us around. He almost gets a queen, but in the end, there is enough to defend, and there it is. Ryu is going for that Spire.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, we're gonna find out how the spire works for him this time. Because we saw what Cham can do with the spire, but let's see what happens if there are reverse in the regard.
Yeah, it's just really difficult for Ryu just because, again, his third base was delayed so much, and with that, like, that does come into play here. Like, yo, when you're going mutas like this, like, getting your 5th and 6th gas up and running ASAP, like, that's so important. And the problem is that Cham, he's just sending his roaches across the map. Like, he's looking to end the game before the mutas come into play.
But the roaches are already almost on the creep of Ryu, and what does he have to defend? Like, he has some links, does he? Not even. He's making links now. He has nothing.
Yeah,
they're just queens.
He does have a small force of links here. He's making as many roaches as possible, but as we see, like, this space, it is gonna go down. Ryu is attempting to double expand, so even if he's forced to cancel one of these, it's not the end of the world. And there we go. We do see the first cancel.
Yeah, there it is. I imagine like Cham will find out the other base soon enough, and this is not gonna be safe for long.
Yeah, exactly. The Lings do distract Cham a little bit, and actually the entire army of Cham comes back home. So this base is gonna get up and running. Ryu will get a third, and more importantly, enough time has passed with the mutas, they're out.
But look what Cham is getting instead.
Yeah.
That's why all the roaches were coming back home.
And that is the best response that Cham could go for. The mutas, they do come out here and they do catch a bunch of these roaches. They're slowly going to chip away at them. But the reason why this is the best response is because all these queens are going to be sent across the map. Not just queens, but also drones for spores.
Yeah. And those roaches are actually keeping Ryu busy, so he's not going to scout the Nidus until it's in his base.
Exactly, Nidus is being thrown down on the left-hand side of the map. The roaches are still here, and again, like, the mutas, sure, they're gonna clean this up, but they kind of tickle the roaches. Like, it takes a long time to take all this down.
Yeah, Ryu has some roaches of his own, but with the Nidus to reinforce, this is gonna be very tough hold.
That it is. Here we go. The roaches and the queens do show up here at the third base of Ryu. He's gonna try and respond, but again, he only really has mutas to work with. He never got his economy up and running, and this is the beginning of the end here for Ryu, mate. The third goes down.
Yeah, the third goes down, the fourth, I mean, the other base is in danger soon, but not yet. The roaches are trying to defend, but the queens are just in the back, and I don't know how Ryu holds this.
Yeah, and I was talking about it earlier. Drones came across the map as well for those spores. Spores are the best anti-air, and they're going to be uprooting. They're going to be moving on forward, sieging upon this natural base, and the mutas are not going to be able to accomplish anything here.
And GG's call.